Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello all, how you guys all doing tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and on this Saturday night, I am here to review yesterday's episode, last night's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, the October 25th, 2024 edition of SmackDown that took place at the Barclays Center. I've been there before. It's a pretty cool place in Brooklyn, New York. This is not only the last SmackDown review before Crown Jewel, but again, because of me taking my hiatus in November and December from structured content, from weekly shows that I have to get out weekly, this will be the last SmackDown review for the rest of the year. Again, as I will be taking a break in November and December to, again, focus on starting out fatherhood, as my first child is due in will be here in less than 4 weeks. And I just want to take the time to spend with my family, take care of my wife as she recovers. I want to be able to bond with my son, my first child, and enjoy the holidays. And like I said, I'm still doing content. I can promise that I'm still going to be doing content. But it's also going to be like video games, topic videos, a few odds and ends here. It's just that I don't want to have like a structured schedule for a couple months like I do now on the channel. Once January comes around, like either sometime before or after my business trip in January, I will be coming back here to resuming Raw and SmackDown reviews weekly. And if something big happens in the meantime, I will still post some type of like a topic video to discuss something that may have happened on a show. But we will again be back. Again, I'm just not sure how it's gonna go after my child arrives. But again, I still would like to continue to do Raw and SmackDown reviews and continue to do the channel because I enjoy this, guys. And my wife knows this is my favorite hobby, so I'll make it work. I always thought this was going to be the time when I'm going to have to pull the plug, but I'm not pulling the plug. Just things might be different. That's all it's got to be. So we'll see what happens. But again, I will, of course, address a little bit more of that at the end of the show. But we're going to talk about SmackDown from last night. SmackDown was pretty good. I feel like there was a couple little things in the middle, though, that kind of, like, brought down, like the hype coming out of the show just a wee bit. Like the stuff with the, Crown Jewel championships, I just really don't care. I'm sorry. I like all the talent involved. And I even like that one of the matches is, in fact, a dream match for me. But again, the concept, I just don't care. And it's sad because the card actually looks pretty good for Crown Jewel. It's just that, again, the main reason why we're there just doesn't really interest me. I'm sorry. This whole bragging rights, champion versus champion for who is the best of the best and whatnot. Again, there's no other, like, stakes to it other than the fact that it's just a bragging rights trophy. But there was some pretty good things that happened, though. Stuff with the tag team divisions. Stuff with the Bloodline stuff as well. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Triple H, that opening segment. Man, that was awesome. And again, so this was still a pretty strong show that had moments in it. And I guess when they give us moments, that does, kind of increase the value of the show a little bit. I will address also, of course, what happened at the end of the show. Of course, I am not watching SmackDown. Well, I will probably watch SmackDown as we get again. Of course, I'm not reviewing it. Even if I was going on my hiatus, I wouldn't have been reviewing Raw or SmackDown this kind of week. Because again, I do take a break from Raw and SmackDown reviews the week of pay-per-views. But I did see the spoilers. I will leave a disclaimer, but I will address one of the matches that apparently got added to Crown Jewel after next week's SmackDown, because they did pre-tape next week's SmackDown, as they will be traveling to Saudi Arabia. I guess they're not going to be doing SmackDown overseas next week. It's going to still be at Barclays. But yeah, let's get talking about it and everything that happened here. Before we talk about that, though, I do kind of want to do like a little follow-up video regarding Samantha Irvin, as more details have been released this week based off of her release. So it sounds like Samantha Irvin, as of now, and I looks like it too, is not going to be going to AEW. Samantha Irvin seems to want to be focusing a career as a singer, which is her first passion, her first love, and that's singing. I also just read tonight that apparently she did not like being a ring announcer, and that she wanted like a bigger role, like a GM role, or something else, something bigger than just being a ring announcer. And it wasn't really there. So, you know, she's moving on to things that, you know, she's excited to do. Now, a lot of people are giving her crap about this. There's no need to give her crap. She still went out there and still put her heart and soul into ring announcing. I wouldn't have known she disliked her jobs. She disliked being a ring announcer because she was actually good at it. So, again, respect to Samantha Irvin. She's, you know, doing what's best for herself, and that's fine. She doesn't owe us anything. You know, she has her personal life. She has her desires. And, you know, she was a great ring announcer, but unfortunately, you know, it's not what she wanted to do. She's going to go find a way to she's going to go do what she loves to do. That's her music career. So, yeah, she's probably not going to be a ring announcer for AEW. As we all thought at first she could be. Which, again, that's her choice. So, I mean, you never know. She could still do it part-time or something. But she could be focused on her music career. And again, whatever she does, she's going to be great. Again, no shame for her, you know, disliking it. Especially, again, she didn't like it, but she was still excellent at her job. So, again, all respect to Samantha Irvin. I do hope, you know, she does well with whatever she does next. But I just want to get that little news piece out of there really quickly. And we're going to get to Barclays. I mean, we're going to get to SmackDown now, which took place at Barclays Center. I've been to the Barclays Center 3 times now. Well, no, 4 times. Wait. So I was there for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 1, SummerSlam 2015. I was there for the Hall of Fame ceremony in 2019, and Raw. Yeah, so 4 times I've been to the Barclays Center. Very nice venue, of course. The show opened up with Randy Orton storming through Gorilla to make his entrance. But before he did, though, he went over to the main desk to talk to Triple H, who points to them and tells them to get out there. Randy Orton, of course, knows that Nick Aldis has no power in his say for him getting a match against Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel. So Randy Orton has to go to Triple H. Orton comes out, and he basically wastes no time. He gets on the mic, and he says, he recounts the story of his recent attempt to get himself a match against Kevin Owens. And he calls out Triple H, saying he's the guy that has to get it done. And if he didn't know better, he would say that he thinks Hunter is protecting Kevin Owens from him. Here comes Triple H. He came out and he said he preferred not to do this way, but since Randy can't show up to work on time, he guesses they're going to have to do this now. And Orton again says, "You're protecting Kevin Owens from me." Triple H kept all Triple H kept saying is, "I'm not. This is not happening." And then Orton kept saying, "You're protecting Kevin Owens from me. This is not happening." Like back and forth, this and that. Finally, Triple H just exploded and said, "No, I'm trying to protect you from him," which obviously left Orton stunned. And he was shocked, and Hunter says he's known Orton since the day he walked in here. And he's also known Kevin Owens since the day he came in here. Owens calls himself a prize fighter because he's all about business. He's never had a friend, which is kind of a lie. He has had Sami Zayn, of course. Everything about him has been business. Never thought twice before taking someone down who was in his way. But then he eventually let his guard down, which he did. He became a babyface. For quite a long time, too. For most of the past 5 years, Kevin Owens has been a babyface. But anyways, back to Hunter. He said Kevin trusted Randy, and he also trusted Cody. And he doesn't know why, but he trusted them for the first time ever. Owens got turned on, and something got disconnected. And he doesn't want to put him in the ring with Randy, because he thinks Randy is at risk. Randy is just getting back from back surgery, and how he had to get some steel rods put into his back. And he doesn't want to even see him go back on the shelf, maybe permanently, because he did mention that Randy Orton was at once told you probably won't be able to wrestle again. And I believed it too. I thought Orton was done. The fact that he came back during a War Games match and is still doing the RKO, I'm still shocked with how bad his back was. But anyways, after all this, Randy cuts him off and says, "Cut the crap. I didn't ask for Paul Levesque to come out here. He wants the cerebral assassin. The game. The guy wearing a leather jacket and carrying a sledgehammer who beat the shit out of him on his own front porch." Referring back to the segment from 2009 when Triple H broke into Randy's house. He then says what he would do in his position, and says this isn't the old Randy Orton being impulsive. He knows what's at stake. He knows about his health and his career. And he also knows that it's like to have all this taken away from him just like that. He wouldn't sit back and let it slide. He'd handle his business the only way that they know how. In the ring. And then, of course, Triple H just takes it all in, listens to the crowd, and then he says he hopes that we all know what we're getting into. And he says the match is on. And he tells Randy to protect himself at all times going forward. And he leaves the ring. The match is official. Which makes me wonder if we're going to maybe be getting Cody and KO sooner than we thought. I read a rumor we could be getting that at Saturday night's main event in December. I still think you could have... I guess you could have the match. I really thought they were going to keep KO off TV until the Rumble. Because this... I've been saying... The one thing... And again, this isn't Cody's fault. The one thing that's lacked... That Cody has lacked in his championship reign. And again, it's not his fault. He's still putting on outstanding matches with everybody he's wrestled as champion. But the thing that's missing is an actual, legitimate, dangerous heel. And they have it right here with Kevin Owens. Which is making me still think they really need to consider having Kevin Owens be the one to take the belt off Cody Rhodes. So that's why I'm saying, why not kind of like play this a little more longer term? Have Kevin Owens win the Royal Rumble and have him be the one to dethrone Cody at WrestleMania 41. I don't know how they would do it, but based off the fact that they are in fact doing Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel, I think we're probably going to be getting the match sooner. I just really want again, I love how justified this turn is for Kevin Owens. But again, I just want it to actually lead to something. I know I said recently also that if he doesn't beat Cody, he could be the one to eventually dethrone LA Knight for US title, which, yeah, sure, but after losing to the world champion, him just taking the US title is going to be like a consolation prize again. I still think you got to go all the way with this and have Kevin Owens be the one to dethrone Cody Rhodes. Because this should either set up for that, or again, if Kevin does not in fact re-sign at the end of the year, new contract, this could be the way to write him off TV as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But I really like the promo. Owens, though, does need to beat Orton at Crown Jewel. He definitely for sure does. So, an excellent, excellent opening segment. Speaking of the U.S. title, we didn't have what they're calling Game 7. The 7th match in the series with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. And LA Knight was the special guest referee. And I don't know how I feel about this. Because, well, the match was fine that they had. But then eventually there was stuff with LA Knight, getting... He was basically... I wouldn't say he got in the way, but him trying to do his job and, the heat and the chaos in the match kind of caused him to take a couple bumps. I did, though, like that nice, dive that he did that Andrade did over top of him onto Melo on the outside of the ring. But then eventually, LA Knight got sick of how the both of them were acting. He BFT'd both of them, and then he just calls it a no contest, which then led to LA Knight getting confronted back by Nick Aldis, saying that's not what I asked you to do, and you're going to pay for this by being in a triple threat match at Crown Jewel. I'm okay with the triple threat. It's just LA Knight's the babyface here. He came across very heelish. Even though I'm sure, as a face, he still has an arrogant side to him. But it just felt awkward seeing the fact that, this came across like a heel. This didn't come across as an anti-villain or something like that. I don't know. It was just a weird finish. And I do agree. I feel like they should have given Andrade and Carmelo Hayes a decisive finish. Could this mean they may be holding off until a pay-per-view? Honestly, if they didn't get a decisive victory in Game 7, I still think you should consider, whether at Survivor Series or Saturday Night Main Event, I really think you should consider giving these two an Iron Man match. I still think that would be a great match for the two of them. Go Iron Man style. 30 minutes on the clock. Most decisive victories. It would work. Heck, I'll probably add that to my list of matches for the card when I make my Survivor Series card breaks, which will be in the next week or two. But we had that there. That was strange. We also have Tiffany Stratton backstage chatting with Nia Jax, apologizing for feeling under the weather last week, being Tiffany Sniffles or whatever the heck that they called her. But anyways, she's ready though to step up and take care of Nia's problem, which is Naomi. But Nia tells her that thanks, but I already have someone else to do the job for me tonight, and that's Candice LeRae, who kind of got a nice rub last week in a pinfall victory over Bayley. So then they ended up having excuse me, sorry, I burped. They had Naomi take on Candice LeRae, though, and Naomi won. Which then I'm kind of like, okay, then what was the point of giving her the victory? Just have her lose another week later. Weird. And then during the match, Bayley came out to interfere with Indy Hartwell trying to get involved again. And I guess that's set up for a tag match next week with Bayley and Naomi taking on Candice and Indy. We'll see how it goes. I like the fact that they were giving Candice some screen time again, but the fact that she already lost again, I'm kind of like, you think she could have won that match with Naomi? But I don't know. But Naomi gets the victory. I'm pretty sure she will be taking on Nia after this crown jewel crap there, whatever. So we have that. Then we have an interview. Cody Rhodes, who invited Gunther to come out face to face. They both have this promo. Gunther, of course, imitates Cody's introduction, saying, "What do you want to talk about?" Cody says it's very obvious. Gunther says, first off, you shouldn't bring up your daughter. And that this is simply about who the best wrestler is. This isn't about, I'm doing this for my daughter, I'm doing this for the people. No, it's about just the two of them and who is the best. And everything that Cody has done has kind of basically been for someone else, which he ain't lying. Cody talks about how this is all about the legacy of Dusty Rhodes. And apparently he also says that Cody's now asking for the John Cena schedule. He's not lying. And he also thinks he's doing all this to make things more dramatic than they really are. Again, I love Cody, no offense. He's not lying though. But it's good things for a heel to pick at the babyface. And the babyface having a good comeback, helps as well. Gunther says he's doing this for himself. He wants to know what's Cody's real reason for winning this Crown Jewel Championship. Cody says that that's the dumbest question that's ever been asked of him in a wrestling ring, because none of this exists without the fans. He then conducts them to do a big whoa because he got interrupted. And then he says, he admits that you bet that he's dramatic. All of that prestige, how well Gunther looks with the title, the part that Gunther's missing is the responsibility that comes with it. And then Gunther's like, whoa, no, I'm a workhorse. And I've gotten the same requests Cody has for media and all this stuff. But unlike Cody, he's not afraid to say no. Especially to the boss. And that's why Cody will always be second to him. Cody then talks about the nickname the Ring General. And says he doesn't see a general because he commands no one. And he wants to talk about guts. All Cody does is built on guts. And then Gunther is ending a civil discussion, and he goes to take the first shot at Cody, and then they start brawling. Cody drops Gunther and hammers him with right hands until Ludwig Kaiser comes out to even the odds. But then they were about to leave Cody laying until Randy came back out to make the save. And that sets up for a tag match next week. Cody and Randy versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. Probably in the main event, I think, for what I saw in the spoilers. Again, I'm sorry, I just don't care about this. Again, I'm interested in seeing Cody versus Gunther. I just wish there was better stakes for the match. Better stipulation for it. I still think Gunther needs to win this. Because, again, Gunther is built on winning. Gunther only loses when it really, really matters. And Cody, I still think Cody's the better person to tell a story from a loss than like Gunther would be able to. So I still think Gunther needs to win a crown jewel. I'm just saying, I still think it needs to be the case. Then backstage afterwards, Nick Aldis has a meeting with the women's tag team division. There's going to be a fatal 4-way at Crown Jewel. It'll be Bianca and Jade taking on Damage Control, Piper and Chelsea, and Metaphors, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. We'll see how that goes. And then we had, originally thought this was going to be the last match of the show, which was the finals for the number one contendership for the WWE Tag Team Championships, which was DIY's Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Excellent match. Again, two teams. We all love DIY. Even though, again, I feel like what's hurting them is still the fact that I feel like they're just playing a nostalgia act from all this. But, there's still... It feels like the heat's there, like the fire is there. But it's like you want to just burn a little bit more to get the excitement from DIY. I still think the big thing that would help is that they would get rid of this stupid Disney-sounding theme song. Well, they did pump up the beat a little bit. It sounds better, but I still miss their old theme song. I keep saying, too, I just worry that they're going to be playing purely nostalgia act with DIY, and then when they eventually feud each other. But the match was still great. It was fast-paced. There was, of course, the interesting part where I think it was Alex Shelley, ducked when Johnny went for a super kick, and off of that, Johnny accidentally kicked Tommaso Ciampa, which you wonder, is that going to lead to them possibly starting to tease some more cracks as they have here and there. I feel like it's a little too soon to break them up, especially as it seems like they're directing the Street Profits towards a heel turn, and they'll probably feud with DIY, and then they'll probably eventually feud for the tag titles, Street Profits, after Motor City Machine Guns, of course. Well, that's the case, though, because after the match was over, out came the Bloodline. And there's about 20 minutes left in the show. You're like, what else is next here? But they came out, and Solo, and Nick Aldis basically saying is, we're not doing this right now. Solo goes, it's all good. We're not out here to fight. We just want to come out and introduce ourselves to the number one contenders. And, they talk. Saban says it's an honor to meet Mr. Tribal Chief, introduces them, and says they're ready to take those titles. Any place, anytime. Solo's like, that's funny. Why don't we do it now? And at first, Nick Aldis is like, nope, not going to happen. They just had a great match, or less than 100%. But Alex Shelley's like, no. The tag titles are that important. We agree. We want to do it right now. So that sets up Tama Tonga and Tongaloa and the Motor City Machine Guns challenging for the tag titles right in this instant. What's going on here? And then, obviously, the rest of the Bloodline are trying to get involved in the match. Out came Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns to kind of even the odds. They fought off Solo and Jacob. But then referee bumps started taking place. And then the referee was down. And then another hooded figure came through the crowd and started blasting the Bloodline with the steel chair. You knew exactly who it was as he revealed himself. Yep, it was Jey Uso, getting his revenge on the Bloodline for costing him the Intercontinental Championship on Raw this past week. And off of that, he was able to help the Motor City Machine Guns win in just their third match in WWE and win the tag titles. Shocker, but okay. It really seems like them bringing in MCMG, it feels like they're doing like a little bit of like a reset button on the tag team division. So I'm cool with it. Again, I don't know Chris Sabin too well. I definitely, though, again, have definitely grew to like Alex Shelley. Like I said, the only time I've really seen him wrestle, or an occasional like indie appearance here and there I've seen, is again, I saw him when he was with Kushida in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, I believe in 2020. I think it was when I saw it. Yeah, 2020. At the beginning of 2020, when him and Kushida teamed up as the Time Stoppers, I really thought Alex Shelley was really good. And I think the chemistry with him and Chris Sabin is awesome. But yeah, they win the tag titles. Shocker. And then afterwards, though, Jay is in the ring. Jimmy comes back out. They just stare each other down. And they hug it out as Roman is on the stage watching as this is happening. And that's how the show went off the air. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hate it, that ending. It did feel like, though, it was a tad bit too soon for that, though. For, Jay and Jimmy to reunite and hug it out. Because I still think that, based off of how things should go, yes, they all have a common enemy now. Jay wants to get his revenge on Solo for costing him his title. But at the same time also is he still has these problems with the bloodline he has to address. You know, everything that Jimmy did to him, everything especially Roman did to him. So it's like, it's at a point now where it's like, you feel like we're definitely doing the OG bloodline and the new bloodline and War Games. But again, besides the fact that, again, I said that you gotta build up the new bloodline a little stronger. Because, again, it just... Oh, it's fireworks. I'm sorry. I was confused for a second. Besides the fact that you gotta give the new bloodline some more wins, you also gotta keep the continuity going here with this OG bloodline. How, you know, obviously, you know, Jimmy Uso turned his back on Jay, but also how Roman basically just kept him in this, like, abusive relationship between, like, you know, basically just bossing him around and just being, like, you know, terrifying for almost 4 years. So, you gotta kind of, like, you know, have a good way of them, you know, making up. And it should be a bit until Roman and Jay fully reconcile as well. But we'll see what happens. But great show, though, overall, like I said. Although I felt it was too soon, it was still cool seeing the Usos reunite. I, of course, again, really loved that opening promo with Randy and Triple H. And Motor City Machine Guns just rocket ship right to the top. I'm like, cool with me. Everything else, again, was some weird little things in there. But, you know, it was still a harmless show. It was good. I gave it a B+. And, again, that's a wrap on SmackDown reviews as well. Like I said, for the rest of the year, I am not going to do any Raw and SmackDown reviews again. Just want to, again, I'm still going to do content, but I just don't want to be, you know, too structured for the rest of the year. January, we will get back into that. I will still, again, this coming week, I'm going to do a preview for Crown Jewel. It's looked like I'm probably going to have to do that on Monday, though, because I am booked almost every day for the rest of this week. So it'll probably be best if I did it on Monday. So I'm going to have to work on the graphics tomorrow. Again, I am going to read the spoilers for SmackDown, see if any more matches got added. And of course, I will make a disclaimer at the beginning of the Crown Jewel preview, if in fact any of you did not want to be spoiled, that things could be mentioned based off of the SmackDown results. Again, SmackDown was pre-taped for next week because they're going to be traveling. And again, I will do a card prediction for Survivor Series. I will definitely do a review of Survivor Series. I can't, though, guarantee a preview, though, for Survivor Series, because that's right around Thanksgiving, and that's when my son will be born. And I may do a review for Saturday Night Main Event. I won't preview that one for sure, but I may do a review of that show, though. And like I said, too, still more video games. I'll still be doing topic videos, again. Just stuff that's like I don't have to get done by a certain time. That's what's going to be over the next couple of months. But of course, anything good that happens on Raw or SmackDown, I'll probably do a little video addressing it, maybe. But other than that, like I said, I'm just going to, you know, just be smooth, take a little breather, recharge the batteries, still post stuff, and then start swinging back into things in January. So as always, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for also your patience and understanding as well. As, again, you know, my life is just a lot busier now. But, again, you guys are still here. I love you all. And I couldn't appreciate you guys any more than I already do. So what are you guys' thoughts on SmackDown this week? Again, gave it a B+. Leave you guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, the Club of the Man 93. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram, the Club of the Man 1993. And until next time, guys, whatever that may be, whatever video is next, I will catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah! Thank you guys again also, for as always, for the support. Again, this has been a great year with our Raw and SmackDown reviews. But like I said, We will be back in 2025 for these. Just again for now, just taking a little bit of a breather on these. I'll see you guys whatever's next. Take care, everybody.